Be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind. When you renew your mind, you are able to accommodate what God is saying. God is saying it is not instantaneous. It's a process. Concentrate on what I'm doing right now. What am I doing in your life? Right now, I'm telling you, give yourself more to service. That's what I'm saying. As you wait, give yourself more to service. As you wait, give yourself more to prayer. Concentrate on what I'm saying at this moment, because it's a process. What I'm doing is that I'm making you to become like me. You do not know yourself the way God knows you. I tell you, you do not know. When I was making a decision to get married, I thought I knew. I knew what I want. I knew the kind of support I need, because I knew where I was heading in terms of ministry. 6-7 years down the line in ministry, I realized I did not know. God was so much aware of who I was. He knew my weaknesses. He knew my hard-heartedness, my thickest moments. He knew, and he knew the kind of person who can be able to be compartment that one with me. God is aware. God is aware. He's aware where you are. Sometimes when we finish college and we are out, and when we interact with some of our friends and they have progressed, some of them have gone beyond, and they're telling you, no, you need to be connected. You need to know ABC. And suddenly you are given an instruction by God that I want you to give yourself in prayer this year. Give yourself to me in prayer. Suddenly you sacrifice that time of prayer and you start looking for connections. You start looking for connections to so and so. So you make this call. So when you're meeting people, you want to impress so much so that you may be loved by people and be promoted in the long run by people. You miss it. God was aware. He knows where you're not baked enough. He knows what he's called you for. He knows that you're looking at the other person and trying to compare yourself. We cannot see, but he knows you. And he's telling you, sit here, wait. Don't look at that person who is running. There is a mountain that is coming. There is a soaring on eagles. Eagles don't jump from tree to tree. If they decide to fly from this place and they're going to Naivasha, they will just soar. The other birds will look for a tree and camp there and wait and gather some breath and then sprout out again. But God is telling you, wait. There's a system. Just wait. When you wait enough, that time will come and I will cause you to mount on wings like eagle. And suddenly you're looking at the people you are admiring and you're thinking, man, I was foolish. Let's not compare ourselves with people this year. Don't compare yourself with who and what they have. Listen to what God is saying to you. Listen and then obey. Pick it up, obey. Wait patiently. Wait patiently. All these trials that come our way, according to 1 Corinthians 10:13, they're not coming to harm us. They're not strange. It's the system that God uses worldwide. He allows them to come our way. That person who looks like he's soaring, if he's not soaring by the Spirit of God, you will follow that end to no avail. You will crumple even more sadder than the way that person has crumpled. Probably that person is being sustained by the kingdom of darkness so that he may pull many people before that day when God will judge that person, and the people who followed him, they collapse into situations. We are not told those. I see our young people, and we really look at the media, and we look at people, people becoming a socialite. So as a lady, you've noticed that you have some looks, and suddenly you want to become a socialite. You start hanging out with those people who are socialites, and what they do, some of them, it's things that are despicable. You keep on showing your body on social media. You want to tell people, how do I look today? What do you think I'm missing? And these kinds of comments that people say because you are lacking something, looking for affirmation. If that person is telling you, I own billions. Today I spent 10,000 shillings in just a cup of tea. And you're looking at that life and you're saying, I want that life. You do not know the thorns. You do not know how the enemy is waiting for you. If it were not the prayers of your mother, prayers of your father, prayers of the church, you do not know how the enemy is waiting for you. We were sharing yesterday as a praise team as I conclude, that David was very interesting. David, one day when he's supposed to be at war with his friends, he's seated at home. That's why I told you the enemy fashions a weapon. He knows he cannot battle David in the field. Because David had killed Goliath, David had killed the bear, David had killed Yani. The devil knew, if you want David, don't go after him in the field. You can't get him. If you want David, get him out of the field. Yet David knew this is his call. He's supposed to lead the army and be in the field. And that day when he relapsed, the enemy quickly pulled everyone from Nigeria, from everywhere. Let's go, let's go. Make sure he's mine. Make sure there is Uriah Bething. Is it Uriah? Bathsheba Bething. And suddenly, David goes to the balcony and he beholds a woman bathing. And instead of him going back and saying, oh God, and that's what we tell our young people, and we tell us, not only young people, even I realize even as you're growing older, you need to keep on disciplining yourself. And you're telling myself, oh Lord, I looked and I looked again, and that's not okay. I ask you, forgive me, I repent, and I ask that anytime I am about to do that, give me the strength to focus on you. He did not do that. He looked and he contemplated from the abundance of the heart. You know, the issues of life springs forth. He contemplated, and then one thing led to another. There is a baby coming. Adultery. In those days, you know, they were living with the laws of Moses. One of the law was that if you sleep with a man or a woman who is not your wife, you remember the woman who had committed adultery? Do you know that woman had committed adultery? It means that she had slept with someone who is not her husband if she was married, or she has slept with some other person's husband. It was not a young people's thing where you're not married, I'm not married, so we do fornication. No, it was adultery. What David committed was what that woman committed. And the law was that they were supposed to be stoned. David makes sure that the person who accuses him of that is dead. So that even when they raise a case against him, there will be no accuser to say, I did not sleep with my wife during this period when he got pregnant. Someone else must have done it. It is King David. He made sure every evidence dealt with the way people in the powers of politics, they do things hand to hand, kill evidence, make sure everything. And he thought for a moment that things will come. When you see David's prayer in Psalms 51, create in me a clean heart. I have sinned against you. Oh, wipe me with hyssop, cleanse me. It was almost a year after when Prophet Nathan was sent to David. He was not aware. What he was just aware is that the sin had made him to dry up like bones. That's what he was saying, I think, in Psalms 32. My sins are always before me. They've made me dry up like my bones because they are unconfessed, they are undealt with. And he's killed. Satan can fashion something. But if we are strong, we will be able to foresee and keep away. This season of mounting, please wait on God. Wait on God. What has he said? What has he told you? Wait on God. That is the system to mount. Believe what he has said, but do your part. What has he told you? And those parts are usually very specific instructions. Our level of growth in salvation is different. God could be telling you, you need to read even a chapter of the Bible this year. He could be telling you, you need even to fast for a day this year. He could be telling you that you need to be available more. He could be telling you that you've never witnessed for me. You've never told someone about me. Why? Could you try even a soul per month? What is God saying to you? That is the key to your mountain. It's not the same to all of us. Our standard is that we should be committed, we should serve, we should be prayerful, we should be reading the word, whatever. But for a specific individual, there is something that God is telling you. What is it? Take that to heart, like Mary, and say it, be it unto me according to your word. I will fight to make sure I obey. And every time you obey and do your part, when you do your part, you don't need to work. You just saw. David was harvesting, was taking care of the sheep. But because his time had come to be anointed, everyone in the house was made not to sit down. Everyone. Until David was located where he was. If it was a kilometer or 10 kilometers away, if he was coming in an hour. You know, sometimes we usually think that those people waited for, like, David was just outside here with the sheep and is making sure that the sheep eat. No, those were pastoralists. When you're going to take sheep to eat, you will go for a kilometer, a place like Thika, and now a prophet comes and pronounces in your house, we will not sit down or take anything until that young man comes here. You can imagine, it could have been an hour, it could have been 2 hours. These guys are just standing. Why? Because it was the hour. It was the appointed time. When it is your appointed time, you don't need to do much. God will locate you where you are. If it is a job, they will call you where you are. If it is a healing, you will not need to come to a church to be laid on hands. Just a dream, an angel will appear to you and say you are healed. When you wake up, you've not been laid hands on, but you are healed. God will locate you where you are when it's your time. Do what you need to do so that God may fulfill what he needs to fulfill.